Hello friends, in this video we will solve more problems based on block diagram reduction. Let us begin. Let us start with the very first problem. Let me tell you, the same problem we have already solved in the last video. Just for the sake of revision, I'll explain you how to solve the problem by using shortcut method. So as I have explained, in every question of block diagram, what you need to get is a transfer function. We have studied block diagram reduction and we have studied block diagram reduction rules. Also, we have seen what procedure do we follow to reduce the given block diagram. So first of all, we reduce blocks connected in series. Thereafter, we reduce blocks connected in parallel. Then we reduce simple feedbacks. And if necessary, then we shift takeoff point or summing point. And after repeating the whole procedure, we reduce the whole block diagram to a single block. And then whatever we get inside that single block is considered as the overall transfer function of the given block diagram. But then, as I said, following the procedure is just to know the traditional method. But then, instead of solving by traditional method, we follow a shortcut method. So let me just explain you the same problem by using a shortcut method. So what I'll directly write is y of s upon r of s, that is nothing but the overall transfer function. Remember, it is always in the form of ratio. In the numerator, we take summation of all forward paths. Look at the very first forward path. So I'll go like this. So what you get first, you'll get G1, G2, G3, G5. G1, G2, G3, G5 plus. So first of all, I'll remove the first forward path and I'll see to it, is there any other option to go from input to output? Please remember, when I say forward path, it means you have to travel from R of S to C of S. So you have to maintain the direction very well. So I'll start from R of S like this. So I'll go to G1, then G2. Then after passing through the summing point, instead of going to G3, I'll go to G4. Then from G4, I'll go to G5 and then Y of S. Is that right? So this is the second forward path that I got. So if you travel from R of S to Y of S from the given path, you will get G1, G2, G4, G5, right? So there is no other forward path possible. So I'll remove this forward path again. Please don't make mistake like this. For example, so I'll show you invalid forward path now. So starting from R of S, then G1, then G2, then traveling upwards to H3. This is not allowed because if you look at the direction, this H3 is a reverse path transfer function or a block which is used as a feedback element. Then you cannot use it for a forward path. So the transfer function numerator is ready. What is only left is denominator. In denominator, by default, this one will come. Then a plus sign for negative feedback and negative sign for positive feedback. So now you have to go through loops. So first loop, what I can see easily is this. Am I right? So again, since there is a negative feedback, I'll say plus. So if you loop through, you'll get G1, G2 and H1. So plus G1, G2, H1. This is a first term or the first loop I can see. If you notice, there is another loop like this. Am I right? So you will get G3, G5 and then H3. Since there is a negative feedback, I'll again say plus. It is G3, G5, H3. Am I right? So first of all, I'll remove all the marked loops. So now you can take this bigger loop. If you look at this, this is a positive feedback over here. And this whole loop is this one. Am I right? So when you are traveling through this loop, what you get first? G1, then you get G2, then you get G3, and then back to pavilion, you get H2. And since it is a positive feedback, I supposed to mark negative here. So G1, G2, G3, and then H2. Am I right? So if you are not a good observer, then you will miss out one more feedback path. So look at this now. I'm talking about, let's say, this summing point 1 where we are getting positive feedback. So this feedback loop I'll talk about. So we have one more path like this, G1, G2. Then instead of moving to G3, go to G4, G4, then come down, then H2, and then you're getting back to the feedback. So this is also the another loop which you will come to know by practice. So if you loop around, you'll get G1, G2, G4, and then back to H2. And since it is positive feedback, again I'll have negative sign here. So let's write what you get, G1, G2, G4, and then H2. Am I right? So as I said, we have already solved this problem by conventional method also and by shortcut method also in last video lecture. And here, just for the sake of revision, I have explained the same sum again. Let's move to the next problem. Again, some block diagram is given and we have to find a transfer function for this. So I have to get a transfer function, that is C of S upon R of S, and this is equal to, as I said earlier, it will be in the form of numerator and denominator. So what we take in numerator, that is nothing but summation of all forward paths. Am I right? So look at a very first forward path, start from R of S, G1, G3, G4. This is always a forward path. Whatever I have marked is always a forward path. Please remember that. So G1, G3, and G4. Am I right? Also, as you can see, you can start from this end, like from R of S, then this end, G2, and then from G2, you can just go ahead, and then from G4 you can travel. So I'll take this second forward path plus, as you have started from G2, then G2 to G4, and then to Y of S, right? So I'll remove this. There is one more possible path. If you look carefully, starting from R of S, then G2, and then if you remember, we traveled through this, right? So I'm not going to travel through this. Instead, I'll go up, and then I'll move through G3, then to G4, and then to C of S. This is also the possible forward path we can have. So plus G2, G3, G4. So now our numerator part is ready. Only we have to look after is loops now. So now I'm going to remove this all. So look at the loop now. Quite visible and easy to identify is this loop. Am I right? So I'll start with G3, then G3 to G4, then G5 and back to the same summing point. Am I right? So I'll start from here. This one comes by default. If you look at the feedback, it is a negative feedback. I'll say plus G3, G4, and then G5. Am I right? So this is the first loop that we have seen. Let us remove the marked lines. So if you look at this bigger loop can be taken as a feedback, again with negative feedback. So I'll go through like this, G1, G3, then G4. Don't forget we are moving like this. And then, as you can see, it is just a straight line, right? This is just a straight line. So whenever there is a straight line without any block, then please remember it is a block having transfer function as 1. Is that right? So let us take care of this now. Since we got negative feedback, let us write plus. So look at the blocks which are ticked now. It is G1, G3, and then G4. And then it is getting back through the block having transfer function equal to 1 to the summing point. Am I right? So let us remove this. So let me restore here. It was G1, G3, G4 plus it is G to G4. That was the second forward path, right? So these are the only loops possible which I have written. There is no other loop possible if you see carefully, right? Please remember, you cannot take this as loop. I mean, this loop I'm talking about. This is not a loop, right? Because a loop is something where the feedback is present. And let me tell you, this G2 is not a feedback element. As you can see, it is traveling from input to output, am I right? Feedback is something like G5. As you can see, it is a valid feedback because it is coming from output towards input, or a block which travels from right to left. If you look at G2, it is traveling from left to right. So something which is traveling from left to right, that is from input to output, cannot be a feedback element. But look at G5 carefully. It can be taken as a feedback because it is moving from right to left. So you have to observe carefully and you have to decide what is the direction of that block given, right? So this is the final answer of the transfer function for the given problem. Let's move to the next problem. So this is GATE 2017 problem. See how easy problems they do ask in the GATE examination. So the level of problem which we learn here, at that level they are not even asking such problems. So the level of problems that they ask are kind of this. So look at this. This is N80 type question, means without options question. So you will get a numerical answer here. Let us solve the problem. So I told you, if there is no block, then there is always an invisible block having transfer function equal to 1. So even here, treat this as transfer function equal to 1. So let us write for y of s upon x of s, that is nothing but the overall transfer function for the given block diagram. Again, it is available in the form of numerator and denominator, am I right? So in numerator, what you have? Of course, summation of all forward paths. Forward paths are those paths which are traveling from input to output, that is from x of s to y of s in this case. Let us start traveling. So this is the first possible traveling, am I right? So if you travel from x of s to y of s, you will get only g of s, but value of g of s is given as 2. So I'll write 2 over here plus. Let us see if there is any other possible forward path. By observation, starting from x of s again, I'm traveling like this. Yes, I can travel it like this. Am I right? So while traveling, I get only one block having transfer function equal to 1. So I'll take that gain as 1. So I'll write plus 1 here. Am I right? And there is again no possible forward path, let me tell you. Because let's say if you are traveling like this, you cannot go up because this arrow is not allowing you to go in opposite direction. So let me remove everything now. So what we have in denominator is 1, and then depending upon the feedback, as you can see, it is a negative feedback. So I'll write plus here, and you can just loop around this. So when you are moving from this summing point, you get g of s, and after g of s, you have only 1. But the value of g of s is 2. So again 2 into 1 is 2 itself. And it is quite visible that there is no other loop possible, am I right? So what you have in numerator is 3. Even in denominator you get 3. So you get answer as 1. So y of s upon x of s value is equal to 1. See how simple problem it is. So if you know the trick, then it is very easy for you to solve the given problem within a minute, and that's a necessity for a competitive exam, right? Let's move to the next problem. This type of problem they have asked in GATE 2017. The overall closed loop transfer function C of s upon R of s for the represented figure is, and they have provided us options. So let us start from numerator first. So overall transfer function C of s upon R of s is equal to. So what we write in numerator? Of course, we write summation of all forward paths, am I right? So again starting from R of s, then you move through G1, G3, and then C of s. So let me write it G1, G3 plus. So there is another possibility that is quite possible, that is from G2 and then from G2 to G3. So G2, G3, if you travel like this is another forward path possible. So plus G2, G3. Am I right? So what you can do to save your time, you can just cross check the numerators of all the options with the obtained one. So here I can actually go for option number 1, because if you take this G3 inside, you will actually get the same term. So option number A could be a valid. So option number A could be valid. I cannot come to the conclusion unless and until I see all the options carefully. Look at option number B. It says numerator as G1 plus G3. Again, I can eliminate this option. Look at option C. If you expand this, you will get G1H1 minus G2H1. So again, it is not going with our numerator. I can eliminate this. And look at option D. We can again eliminate option D because it is not the one which we expect in the numerator. So you know what? Our problem is already solved. We don't have to really verify our denominator because option number A is the only correct option. So if you work smartly, then you save your maximum time. But since this video lecture is to give you a complete insight about the subject, we will still solve this problem and will try to get our denominator also for a practice purpose. Let us solve. So our concern is only loops now, right? Look at a very first loop here. I'll name those summing points as S1, S2 and S3. So you can start from S2 itself. So as you can see, you can travel like this from S2 to G1, and from G1 then you can get back from H1. As you can see, it is a negative feedback, so I'll mark as plus. So I'll say 1 plus G1 H1. Am I right? So I'm sure you understood this loop, but then I can start this way. That is, I'll start from S2 only. Instead of going to G1, I'll start from G2, and then from G2 again you can come here, then H1, and again it is a negative feedback. So I'm sure you understood this. Again it is a negative feedback, so I'll go for plus. So what you got? G2 H1. Am I right? So I'll remove everything so as to avoid the confusion. So we have seen all possible feedbacks possible with S2. Look at S1. There is one more feedback at S1 which is a negative feedback. So I'll have to take care of that. So the only option that I see over here is from G1, then going to G3, and then getting back to the same summing point S1. So in this path, what we got transfer functions as G1, G3. So I'll say, since it is a negative feedback, I'll again mark as plus G1, G3. Is that right? There is one more path possible. I'm sure you must have figured it out. Observe carefully. So I'll again start for this feedback. So I'll start from S1. Then instead of going toward G1, I'll go to G2. I'll come down. Then I'll get forwarded to G3. And then coming back via unity feedback to S1 again. So which blocks you encounter here? You get G2. Then you move to G3. And then from the unity feedback, you get back to S1. So I'll say again plus G2, G3. So this is the denominator you get. Now in this problem, we already know that option A is the correct option. So look at option A and just expand this denominator. You'll get the same that we have in the denominator. Right? I'm sure now you're quite comfortable with this block diagram stuff. In next video lecture, we will see signal flow graph. Thank you.